This episode of the Rad Dad Redemption Podcast is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Oh my God.
We did it.
We did it. This feels so good to be here in front of a live audience.
Very live.
Make some noise for the Rad Dad Redemption Podcast.
It's your boys.
It's your boys. It's your boy, Sanic.
I do want to acknowledge, something a little somber.
Right off the gate.
Right off the hop. Yeah.
Glad you're all here with us. Let's get serious.
Let's get very serious. This is one of those serious Oprah episodes. Yeah, well, we wanted the live studio audience for our 1 year anniversary episode. Kind of buried the lead there.
Noise.
So we set up all the scaffolding and all the bleachers and everything for this studio audience, and unfortunately, we set it up, and that scaffolding did collapse, and a few of the audience members were tragically severely injured, and a few of them actually succumbed to their injuries in hospital. So. Unfortunate, yeah, an unfortunate scenario, but we are good people, and we're sending their families a sympathy card, and also inside of that sympathy card, we've got a $25 gift card to Happy Valley restaurant here in Okotoks. So.
Yeah, there's only $4.87 left on that gift card. We got a little peckish.
Yeah. Well,
sorry about that accident. Yeah, we shouldn't have done it ourselves. We actually have learned that a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if we go back to the live show.
Yeah, we don't do things ourselves.
We don't set up stuff ourselves. But anyway, to the surviving audience members, glad to have you here with us.
Yeah, make some noise. You know what? Taylor Swift can do it, Brazil style. I feel like we can off a couple.
Yeah, I mean. If Taylor Swift can dodge killing a few of her fans, she has a lot more fans than we do. We can't afford to lose a single one.
Yeah, our listenership just went down.
We lost 2 audience members. That's 5% of our listenership. Fuck.
Wow, I can't even do that math. I should be able to. I teach grade 6 math.
I just pulled a number out of my ass.
Okay, well, thanks for surviving. Sorry about the scaffolding. And happy 1 year anniversary.
1 year.
This is crazy.
We didn't get canceled, so I think that was one of our main concerns.
We haven't been canceled yet.
Year 2, plenty of opportunity. But
yeah, we'll keep trying. 1 year. How's that make you feel?
1 year older.
Yeah, definitely. I think I am definitely older and fatter. I don't know if that has anything to do with the podcast. Maybe. But also, I feel accomplished. I feel accomplished in the sense that we're still doing it. When we first cooked this idea up, I remember being at the beach in Crystal Ridge, and Dunny and Mrs. Marsh were like, "So I hear you're starting a podcast," and we're like, "Yeah, hell yeah! What's it about?" Oh, we haven't got there yet.
Slow down.
Easy. Didn't you hear me? We're diving in head first. We got a podcast now.
We're gonna sell 4 shirts this year.
Did we? Did we sell 4 shirts?
Probably around that number.
Yeah, let's rattle off our accomplishments. Okay, we had a live show. That was cool.
Yeah. At Big Beaver. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was excellent. You did your first ever stand-up comedy at the Laugh Shop. That was actually hype. We got to maybe slot that in for this next year. You doing more hard work and putting yourself out there.
Here's the thing. I emailed the guy and I was like, "Hey, I want to get back. I had so much fun. I want to get back out there." And he's never emailed me back since.
What? You were the best one.
And so is that why he's not emailing me back? Because I showed him up at his own show?
Someone heard me trashing him, and they're like, that guy is with that guy. And so you're fucking blacklisted.
I'm blacklisted from the Laugh Shop.
Okay, so we got semi-canceled. We also amassed, I think, overall, and granted, we have 20 episodes, but we're close on 1,500 listens overall. Is that a real number?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
That feels like we did something.
We have reached some people. We've touched their lives.
We've touched some people.
We've really touched some people, and which is also shocking that we haven't been canceled for that.
Yeah, 100%. But we should take a minute to say thank you.
Thank you for listening.
If you started listening from day one and you are still around, we really appreciate you. And I'll unpack that a little. I can't even listen to our early stuff.
No, yeah, that's. I was gonna say, if you started listening episode 1 and you're listening here now, that is a sign of like perseverance. I would say that is a sign of strength.
I remember we had our first good episode, unbeknownst to us, and the homie Geese reached out and he's like, "Finally." And we're like, and it was like you become self-aware. I actually like. Not cringeworthy, not ashamed of it, but I think about when people are like, oh, the Rad Dad Redemption Podcast, and they start because all of our episodes are on there and they start at 1.
Yeah.
And I want to like give them a personal message, send them a couple liters of bathwater and just be like, listen, you can do the Christmas special. That was a hit. There's a couple jokes in Epi 2. But just get into the double digis. And that's when we start to like roll. We have a system, we have banter, we're more comfortable.
If I have to pick a spot, and I know it's like we're talking to like probably our dedicated listeners have already heard all of these episodes.
Fucking they're like with the jokes already.
Get on with it.
Nice dad jokes.
But if I had to pick a spot, I'm thinking, I think it was episode 10, the home renovation episode, which is where I feel like after we did that, I was like, oh, there, like we actually have kind of hit a stride.
Yeah,
there's
100%.
Something here.
There's something here.
There's something. I'm not sure what it is,
but it's fucking here.
There's something.
Yeah.
There's a tingling.
We have tossed around the idea. We tossed around so many ideas. I think that should be our podcast. Is like talk about what we might do.
We're just gonna blue ball the audience with just our ideas.
Have guests. We're gonna have the mom show. We're blue balling you. The punchline is we're lazy fucks. But we have talked sincerely about doing the like cliche mashup episode, the best of.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I don't want to put work on you. I fucked it up with the pumpkins. You know, I've made a lot of
You gave
promises.
yourself no time for the pumpkins.
Yeah, no,
though.
it was like that night. You know, barring any content from the election special, I do think it would be a very fucking funny episode to just like pull out all the hits. So do look forward to that. One of these days we'll get some time and mash it up. And yeah, this next year, we're going to continue to roll.
I always think of like the self-deprecating Simpsons episodes when they did clip shows.
Yeah.
And they would be like, oh, it's not another clip show. And like, they just ripped on themselves for doing clip shows. That's the vibe we should go when we do a clip show.
I just saw one of those and there was like they're ripping on themselves for doing clip shows. And then there's some line in the show talking about how, you know, sitcoms often will just reuse fucking old material and the audience won't even realize. And then the next scene is like season 3 Simpsons animation that they've reused, and it's like just a little segment, just like a little Fight Club schween right in the middle. And I was like, this fucking show, it's honestly, it gets better with age. Simpsons is still good. The old Simpsons is still good now. New Simpsons, meh.
Okay, I got something to say about that. Simpsons fell off after, well, there's arguments, but after like season 8 or 9, depending on, you know, what you're feeling, fell off for years. But actually the new seasons, the last couple, are super funny. They changed their showrunner. They got new writers. The new Simpsons episodes are actually super funny.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, go check them out.
So 1 year anniversary, I got you some gifts.
Ooh, I didn't get you shit.
Yeah, I'm used to that. Actually, that's not true. Your family's always very kind to us. Actually, I think out of like all the like families, you know, like we often receive like birthday gifts or like, oh, hey, like here's a gift for your kid, blah, blah. Like everyone's really dialed on it. And Megan and I are just kind of pieces of shit. So here's my apology to everyone. We do think about you. We do love you, specifically you guys. And you're always kind to us. So I'm happy to give you these gifts that I went out and got to celebrate our anniversary together. Starting off with a little throwback. You ready for this?
Ooh, throwback. Oh, the Baja Blast.
Yeah, baby. 500 mils of diabetes in a bottle.
Back to episode 1. I got the Logan Paul Prime going, which I'm not going to sleep tonight now.
Not after this blast.
No, I'm basically been housing energy drink, and I'm going to drop some Baja Blast.
Let's see if I can get the little fizz on Mike here. Ooh.
Yeah, didn't get a lot of waveforms there.
Looking at the way. That was just a little quiet segment. Make some noise, audience.
Hell yeah.
Make some noise for Baja Blast.
And actually, it's funny because the new Call of Duty game comes out all the time around this time of year. Oh, they're not doing Call of Duty this year. Last year they're doing Call of Duty. I was like, leave the bottles behind. I need those codes.
Doesn't it say unlock Game Pass though?
Yeah,
you get
Game
a month
Pass.
of Game Pass.
Game Pass. That's pretty cool.
That's dope. That's like your Pizza Pops.
Yeah.
So this is also a gift. I got you Baja Blast for us to celebrate. So let's cheers first and
Cheers
foremost.
to the Baja Blast.
Little sippy, little live sippy.
It always goes down smooth.
Oh my god, it tastes like absolute piss.
I like Baja Blast. I don't know. I don't like actual Mountain.
Underneath these Baja Blasts are the 2 beers I brought because there's no way I'm fucking housing this thing. But I also got you the gift of Game Pass so we can hang out, play some Slay-Lo.
Hell yeah.
We finally got a 4th to our party. That's exciting.
I know. That's very exciting.
But cheers to us, buddy.
Cheers to 1 year.
Yeah. One more sippy
And
for
many,
Daddy.
many more years to come on my face.
I was gonna be like, yeah, I think so. I hope so. But yeah, I mean, also that. Yeah. Maybe you will get cum on your face. I also, as a rad dad extraordinaire, I feed my kids a lot of McDonald's.
Me too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think before kids, I was always like, I'm never going to feed my kid. I'm going to make them celery with fucking peanut butter and raisins, you know, like go back in time, make them the fucking ants on a log and eating healthy. And then they just throw a fit. And I'm like, I'll just shove hotcakes in your mouth.
Yeah.
You get a toy.
Get those nuggets in you.
My kid goes nuts for Happy Meals, but I was really excited. And I know these are all shit, but they're Happy Meal Pokemon cards.
Oh, you don't got to tell me twice. I've taken Kennedy and I've already got a few of these.
So there's your stack.
Thank you.
And the context there is that Dex loves Pokemon. So
Love Pokemon.
But also, we were having a laugh the other day because you are a bit of a collector and you have some nice cards.
Yeah, like, and I pulled out my old cards. I'm like actually going through these, like, oh yeah, I got these.
Who we got? Couple shinies, shadowless.
I went and found my old cards, and then I did buy some new ones, and it's like a funny story. Alicia likes to tell it, but at the time it was like borderline Pokemon divorce, because like
Pokey divorce.
oh yeah, and
Who gets the Pokemon?
keep your fucking Pokemon. Let me have the kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went to Costco, and they had these 3-packs of tins on sale. So in each tin was, I think, 3 booster packs, and they're on sale for like, I think it was $29.99. And Alicia was like, I'm going to check out. I was like, I want to check out the toys, as most adult men do.
As you do.
Yeah. So she's like waiting in the checkout line, and I found these, and I was like, hell yeah. Grabbed 2 packs of these. So I got 6 tins, 3 packs each. And I'm walking down the aisle towards, in Okotoks Costco, you're walking towards the self-checkout there. And Alicia's looking for me because she's like, I'm next in line. Like, where's the credit card holder of the account? And she looks back and she sees me coming from like around the clothes. And I got just my arm full of Pokemon.
Dreamweaver.
And she's yelling across the Costco, no, you take those. Absolutely not. And I'm like nodding, like, yeah, I'm bringing these.
Honey.
She's like, no, put the, and like,
There's so many other dudes in the store watching this, being like, just
she's
head nods.
yelling at me.
Yeah.
Over like 10 families that are like walking towards the checkout lines, and there's like this old couple, and they're very confused because Alicia, like, she's looking through them at me, but they feel like she's yelling at, and they're like looking around like, what the fuck is this crazy lady doing? Oh, she's yelling at her child husband, her overgrown toddler that just grabbed 6 boxes of Pokemon cards.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you got a Pokemon.
Didn't get any very good hits from those ones, but
well, and that's okay. So with back to the McDonald's Pokemon cards, you were showing me some of your collection and the PSA 10. Am I saying that right? Like,
yeah,
the
grading company PSA. Yeah,
one that stuck out to me, and one that you have, I think, at least one of.
I have one. Yeah,
is the Pokemon, the first movie.
Yeah,
the fucking ancient Mew card.
Yeah, the ancient Mew.
And I don't know if anyone listening was of the age or of the disposition to actually attend in theaters that movie. Lots of us did. It was fucking earth-shattering.
It was hype.
But every time you went, everyone that bought a ticket got one of these cards. And I went and saw that movie like 8 times. I go with my friends. I remember taking my little cousins, and I just had stacks of these fucking things. I was wiping my ass with Ancient Mew, all right? And then I just saw on your PSA 10 list, one that's graded 10 is worth, like, they're selling for what, like $440?
Yeah, around there. Yeah, I think so.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So enter these shit McDonald's cards.
They could be worth something one
It's
day.
an investment.
Yeah.
Don't lose them.
No, I'm gonna hang on to them. I'm gonna put them in the sleeve right after this. Put them in a top loader. Put them in the binder. Stash them away. Hell yeah.
Yeah, right on. So now would be the time where you surprise me and you actually did get me a gift. What do you think, studio audience? Did Dexy get me a gift?
I have given you the gift of the studio space.
Looks like your face is getting cummed on, buddy.
I will give you the gift of my mouth and butt.
Accepted. All right, it's gonna be a very short episode. Oh, I love you, buddy. This has been great. It's been a great year.
Fun.
And let's hit it off. Let's get rolling here. What do you guys say to having a little mailbag? Ooh. Yeah, the audience wants it. Play that motherfucking jingle.
Mailbag time, motherfucker.
All right. Okay, so this one comes to us. This is actually one of our all-time biggest fans. This is a repeat emailer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a first repeat.
It is. Yeah, this is well, we're soliciting emails all the time. So one of the 5 people who's emailed is like, oh, I'll throw these fucking idiots a bone. So thanks for doing that, my dude, Uncle Ben. And here we go. What up, Rad Dads? Uncle Ben emailing back in, wanting to congratulate you on making it to your 1-year podcast anniversary. If 1 year ago you would have told me you'd still be recording podcasts and people would still actually be listening, ... I would have agreed with you, smiley face. Oh, that's nice.
He took a hard left because I was gonna be like, I also would agree that we wouldn't be doing.
You could have said some mean stuff there.
Yeah.
Episodes keep getting better and better, and I find myself getting excited like Drew in an authentic Dragon Ball store. Nice. That has every piece of merchandise ever and TVs playing different episodes throughout the store. That's hype. This guy's killing
that
us.
sounds like a sick store. Is there an actual store like that?
Is there a Dragon Ball store?
Probably in Japan.
Yeah, put a pin in that. Yeah, that's all they do there is like cartoons and weird food and panties and vending machines. It's their whole fucking economy.
I would lose the house on those panty vending machines.
Question about last episode. What's the Rad Dad's take on chiclets and rockets? Oh, we did get some feedback on the candy.
Yeah, there was some hot feedback on the candy.
Oh, Auntie Becky was like...
She saw us at golf. She's like, Skittles are shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was her low. Fucking gross pig Skittles. I remember those being favorites of mine growing up, but just got made fun of for liking rockets. Or, like Dex would say, American Smarties. This guy's a fucking listener.
Yeah, you can tell he takes notes.
He's getting an edible arrangement. We'll come back to that. We will respond to that, but I'm going to finish the email. Also, just over 1 month ago, my wife and I welcomed our first baby to the world, and Uncle Drew now has a nephew to get into WWF wrestling matches with. That is awesome. I will pause again here.
Congrats.
Congrats, guys. Beautiful baby boy. My little CJ. Oh, he's beautiful. He's a beautiful baby boy. He's got a question. Question for you two experienced, in quotations, dads. If you could go back to the first 6 months of baby number 1, what one thing would you do different and why? Do you want to field that one?
Yeah, you got to get him in the gym. If your baby's not benching 250 by 6 months, you got a weakling on your hands.
Oh, yeah. I actually... Marin wasn't getting enough protein, and I struck a deal with a local rancher, and I just got some time with a cow, and I would just get her on every udder, right from the source. Beef them up. You want all the antibiotics. You got to get these kids strong. It's a dog eat dog. It's a baby eat baby world out there.
Literally, at the day home Marin was going to, it was a baby.
Well, guess what? We couldn't get into another one, and she's going back. So Dex is saying you got to beef them up. Okay. I'm going to go real, just soak that time up.
Yeah, no, that's where I would go. And I think I said that previously is like, it does go by super fast. I mean, I've got a kid in kindergarten now and I'm like, holy shit. Like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
Right. And, it's very easy to get caught up in the day to day when you're parenting, that you kind of like, you feel like you miss out on stuff, right? And it's like, I mean, my youngest now, she's 16 months. Like she started walking 2 weeks ago, and now she's just like running everywhere,
Just like that, just so
boom.
quick.
She's and it can happen that fast, and you're just like, oh, like remember those like sleepless nights a few months ago? No, I don't, because like this kid is up the stairs in 5 seconds. I was literally putting dinner on. I put 4 chicken strips onto a baking sheet tonight, and she was on a different floor, like down the hall, playing with outlets.
Yeah, you really take for granted, like once they get mobile, how nice life was.
Yeah.
So I gotta agree. It goes so fast. Not even the logistics of like how much a toddler will rock your fucking world. And then they continue. Like this is a trope. This is a thing that keeps happening. Is like every time we enter a new stage of parenthood, or like our kids are a different age, you're like, wow, this is sure crazy. But like the general theme has been like, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And then they start playing sports, right? And then they fucking go into school. So just like take your time, be present, and give all your love to that beautiful baby boy.
You know what's funny is like, as a parent, I've realized that like you always, when you're a kid growing up, you look at your parents like, oh, like these are the 2 wise men, right? They had no fucking idea what they were doing. We have no fucking idea. Like you're
2 dads?
Yeah.
What do you? Okay, yeah. These are the wise people.
These are the wise people, the wise ones. But yeah, like it's really funny, and you'll have that realization sometimes. You'll be like, where's the instruction manual? And then you'll stop and think about it, and you'll be like, oh, like my parents did the same shit with no instruction manual, but like you play it up. You're just like, you got to play the part, you know? Like I know what I'm doing, but like you fucking do not. Right, I love that about parenting.
Oh yeah, heck
I love thinking about that sometimes. Like, yeah, my parents had no idea,
and then they're
they
imparting wisdom
off
on you, and you're like, did you fucking, like, I'm doing it now, and if you feel like I feel like now, you're full of shit. Yeah, like you didn't know what you're doing. Yeah, soak it up, buddy. And for, you know, one more time for the audience, make some noise. Congrats on your first. It's a really big deal. We're super stoked for you guys. Continuing on here, keep giving the people what they want, or in our case, just doing whatever we want and hoping people listen. Love the show and excited for more years of listening. Sincerely, Uncle Ben, aka the Smash 64 King.
Ooh,
yeah, he fucking is. He's the champ.
Okay, I was like, is he coming hot with like some disses right there? Because I know you're sick at Smash.
I am specifically Ultimate, and I do run train on that. But I could never beat this man at Smash 64.
Does he play with Marth?
No, the 64 is like.
Oh yeah, 64, 64. Yeah, okay.
No, Dex, what the fuck's Melee? No, he's Donkey Kong. He's DK.
Oh, okay.
And he'll just smash and grab, chuck you off the ledgy. There's no chance.
Yeah.
P.S. Sorry if you recorded the next episode by the time you got this email. Not true.
We're pretty lazy.
Time. Yeah, we're pretty. I cancel on Dex all the fucking time.
You have ample time to send emails.
Yeah, we're really trying to hold to that 2 episode a month schedule, and I think we're hitting it.
We're pretty good. Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, like I mean, realistically, if we should be on episode 26, and we're not quite there. So, but I remember like last year around Christmas time, I was on vacation. And then we kind of took a break in the summer a little bit. So we're not quite at 26 episodes, right? That would be bi-weekly over a year, you know, pay periods basically. But we're close. We stuck mostly to it.
And we've learned our lesson. It's definitely a quality over quantity thing. You know, like admittedly, we've had forced epissodes and they fucking suck.
Shout out Alberta election special.
I can't, yeah, that was a real scaffolding disaster.
The scaffolding collapsed on us.
Yeah, and then I guess we owe it to Ben for writing such a fantastic email. He did ask.
Yeah, let's go back to the candy question.
Bringing it back to candy, what do we think of chiclets and or rockets? And I'm assuming when he says rockets, the American Smarties, like the little puckies.
Yeah, the little chalky pucks. I honestly kind of like rockets. I realize it's like a super basic candy, but it's like, I don't know, it's just pure sugar, basically. Yeah. Like, what's there not to like about it?
Yeah, okay. Definitely. I think they're good. I remember eating them and enjoying them. I would never scoff at one in the old Halloween pillowcase. I had an older brother, 7 years older. Still have him. Still around. Not past
Oh,
tense.
thank goodness.
Yeah, I got him. No, he's around. But having an older brother is a whole experience, as many people, probably listeners, can attest to. And so Rockets, like very early on, when I was like of the age where you would eat and enjoy candy, he was of the age where it was like funny to smash them up in the package and snort them. And so like we took that on very early. So that's when I think of Rockets. I think like I
You
have
think
like,
of nosebleeds.
yeah, I think of like one memory of like, I can't remember what they taste like, but I sure know what they fucking smell like. Smell like a fucking blurry eye and big nosebleed. Yeah.
Is Chiclets like the gum?
Yeah, Chiclets is like the most shit gum all time.
Yeah. No, Chiclets suck.
Yeah, gum as candy in general.
Yeah.
Like let me again, word of the day.
But like
I'm gonna unpack that.
I'll take a Hubba Bubba.
I was gonna say, if it's the candy that you're gonna chew and right when it starts to lose flavor, you just eat it anyway, and it just becomes candy. Or like the fucking Big League Chew or the bubblegum tape.
Yeah.
You know, like the hyper candy editions, the sour fucking gumballs. Yeah.
Remember when they made like Sour Patch Kids gum?
I don't.
Oh, it was pretty good, but yeah, it lost its flavor immediately, and then you're just chewing like flavorless gum.
Chiclets. That's what Chiclets are. Is this like it's
they got flavor for like 5 seconds.
It's pre-chewed. They just this recycled gum that they just put a candy coating on, and there's like flavorless. It's another one of those fucking misnomers. You're like, oh, juicy fruit. I bet you this gum tastes like fucking fruit, and it's like, oh, it doesn't. It tastes like Baja Blast piss. Like it's fucking the worst gum ever. Chiclets suck. Fuck Chiclets. Rockets for eating. I'm gonna give them, a respectable 6 bags of fentanyl out of 10 razor blades.
I was waiting for that one. There's a little pause.
But if you're snorting them, oh baby.
I remember in high school at a golf tournament, because I played on the high school golf team. Super cool. And
Make some noise.
Hell
yeah.
We snorted a pixie stick, like in the like prize ceremony.
Like the entire line, like one.
We were just chopping up lines here with like our debit cards. But we snorted a pixie stick, and I remember like laughing, like, "Oh, that burns!" And then my nose immediately just starts gushing blood, and the whole prize ceremony from this like Southeast Alberta provincial golf tournament, I was like in the bathroom trying to get my nose to stop bleeding. Like,
you were at the party in Lethbridge when we were playing the rock paper scissors game. Do you remember that?
no.
Come on, you got to remember rock paper scissors. Some listeners here are like, I remember the rock paper scissors game.
So here's the thing: is like I didn't go to college in Lethbridge like the rest of you. So when I attended a party in Lethbridge, it was like, okay, like Dexy's tying one on. Like the 2 that I attended.
Oh, like you literally don't remember.
I'm like, I was pretty fucked up.
I might have been there.
Like my one vague memory of a party in Lethbridge is like when the cops came to your house of like
Which
a noise
time?
complaint.
Yeah.
A noise complaint.
I got a funny story about that.
And I had like, as they were walking up, I was like walking out drunk as shit, and I accidentally dropped a bottle of vodka, and it just like smashed. But it came off as like very like confrontational. Cops like walking up the steps, and I'm just like smashing bottles. And he was like, "Just get the fuck out of here." And I also came out. He was like trying to be a nice cop, and I was like, "Just so you know, like I'm responsible, not driving tonight." And I'm like shit faced, and he's like, "Thanks."
It's that scene from Beer Fest where you think you're saying stuff, but if you could play it back, you're like, no, that's impossible.
I was like, "I'm not driving tonight." He's like, "Thanks for like following the law. Like, thank you for not like running over
Here's your
multiple
medal,
pedestrians."
bro.
Yeah.
Back to rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
So it's this game. You sit in a circle, and I can't remember the specific ins and outs, but essentially 2 people are going to play for rock paper scissors, but a third non-partisan. I don't know if I used that correctly. Bipartisan? No.
Unaffiliated.
Unaffiliated. Yeah, non-partisan. A third person would pick like what happens to the loser of rock paper scissors, and then it would like continue to shuffle. So you'd always be playing a game, and someone would always pick like, hey, if you lose, and the things were like, hey, you have to. Some notable ones is like get a swirly. I always pick that one. Whoever loses rock paper scissors, we're going right now to the toilet that I poop in. And it was usually me getting the swirly, you know, like that guy at the party, like, I'm so crazy, I'll swirly me again, fucking loser. I remember specifically someone had to floss with Buddy's hair,
Okay, gross.
Yeah, super hardcore. Yeah, lots of belly button shots, male belly button shots. But one of the things, and this is all the way back to snorting rockets, was I played around and the loser had to snort a bottle cap of vodka. And I lost, and I was like, NP, baby. Like, you must not have seen me get swirly earlier. I'm a wild and crazy guy.
I'm hard as fuck.
And I snorted this fucking vodka. And I don't know if you snorted a lot of vodka.
I can't say that I have. Butt chugs? That's a different story.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. Put this in your south mouth, peasant. Yeah. Stan Halen. Oh God. Yeah, no, but so the minute it hits your nose, I like experienced quite severe temporary blindness and like gushed blood. Like not like funny rockets nosebleed, like medical emergency nosebleed. Like like I don't know, I'm gonna fucking say all this stuff liar style. I don't know why I'd make it up. It must be true. But like I feel like it does something to like the capillaries in your nose, and it's just like a recipe for disaster, and it's very dangerous. So if you're listening, don't snort vodka. If you're in the crowd right now, put that shit in your butt.
Way safer. Absolutely nothing can happen to you. Yeah, like your nasal membranes are like the most sensitive like part of your body, other than the tip of your wiener. But
I think I'm my most sensitive part of my body. I think I'm just like really emotional, you know?
But your nasal membranes are like the most sensitive part of your body, and like very thin, and like, you know, you basically just took like high proof flammable alcohol and put it up your nose. Like, yeah, like, and you know what, as you were saying the belly button shots, I do remember the rock paper scissors game now, because I think either somebody did a belly button shot out of my belly button.
That's where it started for you. That's where your fetish started.
Oh yeah, any belly button play, I'm all in.
Special treat tonight.
Just put your finger in there just for a second, please.
You pour a little Alizé. It's mango.
Or I can't remember if somebody did it out of my belly button, or for some reason I feel like I drank out of Brad's belly button.
Yeah, I feel like his was like the right belly button.
Brad's got a deep B button.
Yeah, he hated the game because he's like, all this is just me getting liquor in my belly button repeatedly. Let's play the Brad's belly button game. Yeah. Now you remember. Now you remember that fucking game. Oh my God. Yeah, don't do that. So I honestly, I'm losing my train of thought here. And now all I can picture in my head is like doing a shot out of Brad's belly button.
Let's wrap up the show.
This is definitely the sign off. Tune in next time when the Rad Dads do belly shots.
Our first guest is going to be Brad, and he's not allowed to say a word.
Say shit.
We're just taking drinks out of his belly button the whole show.
Yeah. Oh man. I want to make a joke about like, you know, how much the belly button would hold, but I guarantee I've got like a much girthier belly button nowadays. Like mine's not a shot, it's a highball.
It's a full 2 ounces.
It's a double Gibraltar. we actually do cocktail sips out of belly buttons now.
You have to drink a full Moscow Mule out of Drew's belly button.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this live in front of this friggin' audience.
So sick.
Do you like when we were talking about this idea, doing it in front of the live studio, it got me thinking a little bit about like laugh tracks.
Yep.
Do you remember laugh tracks in television shows?
I do. Sometimes they still use them.
Yeah,
but I think it's infrequently used now. And when you hear a laugh track, you're like, this is corny as fuck. Right? Like, I think about Kennedy's watching this show on Netflix. It's a kid's show. And it's actually The Big Show, the wrestler. He has a kid's show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it's called The Big Show Show. And they have a laugh track. And like these jokes are like, I mean, it's made for kids, but they're not that funny. But it's like the audience is like pissing down their legs.
You can hear it.
Oh yeah, you're like, they're like, haha, and you can hear like a dribble. You can hear it dribbling.
It's got a live piss track.
Live piss. But you can hear all of this, and I'm just like, this. It just makes it so corny. And have you seen? There was a guy on YouTube that took The Big Bang Theory, but he cut out all of the laugh tracks. And so it's just them awkwardly pausing for laughs.
Oh, it'd be horrible to watch.
And it's like, the jokes weren't even that funny. The only thing that made you think like it's funny is the hysterical laughter that they inserted afterwards. And they'd be like, oh, like Pluto's not a planet anymore. And in the television version, it would have been like, oh, that's the funniest shit. Audience, give me a sample. It'd be like that.
Yeah, you got Sheldon outside Penny's door, like, knock, 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 Penny. Knock, 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 Penny.
Yeah.
And it just like, without the laugh track, it's like, this guy is a fucking creep.
It's just, there's a probable serial killer knocking at this woman's door.
Doorbell, like, get off my fucking stoop.
Yeah.
He is psycho. And I was thinking about it because I got to open this up, a little Baja Blast. That's not Baja Blast.
That's an adult Baja Blast.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, it is Tuesday. And
when in Rome.
But I had to really think about it because, so obviously there's examples of like current shows that have a laugh track. And I agree, like, it's kind of like a category. If your show has a laugh track, it's almost exclusively because it's not a funny show.
Yeah.
It's a shit sitcom.
It needs that support.
But I couldn't really remember some of the shows I used to watch and whether they had a laugh track or not. So it got me thinking. I actually made this for you. I've got a little quiz.
Oh, okay.
A laugh track quiz. So I'm gonna.
You came correct today. I just want to say you came correct.
Sometimes I really don't. A lot of the times I never do. And so I wanted to contribute. You know, you do a lot of work for the show. Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what I'm gonna do is this laugh track quiz. I'm gonna tell you the show just one at a time, and you tell me whether it had a laugh track or it did not have a laugh track.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? Once I learn how to use my phone. Okay. Hoover's laugh track quiz. Studio audience, make some noise for Mr. Dunford. I bet you he knocks this out of the park.
First contestant, only contestant.
The prize is some face cum. Okay. But if you lose, you're going to get cummed on. You're
getting slimed either way, baby.
Set the tone. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle.
No laugh track.
Correct. Modern Family.
No laugh track.
You're good. You watch a lot of TV.
I watched the shit out of those two shows. So
They're fucking good shows. Modern Family is like, that's our.
So there's your hint, is like two good shows that were genuinely funny in their own right did not have a laugh track.
Okay, well then, to walk you right into this one. How I Met Your Mother.
Laugh track.
Correct. Also, garbage fucking show.
It had its moments, but yeah, it was pretty. I wasn't a
moments?
big fan. There was one moment.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris, the Mac Dad. Okay, fucking him, Jason Segel. Okay,
Yeah.
Super funny, but like as a group, as a cohort, like I don't know, if it's like the lazy writing or just like the shit premise. One of the like most unwatchable shows. And I don't know if you finished it. I didn't.
It was one of the biggest blue balls in like television history.
It just ends and it's like, guess what? We're never going to introduce your mom. She actually died. And I married this girl who was in the show the whole time.
Yeah.
I just ruined it for you, but I also saved you fucking 90 hours of your life. You're welcome. Moving on. This will be a tough one. MASH.
MASH, no laugh track.
MASH had a laugh track.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I don't think I watched much MASH. I know my grandma liked that show, and so I watched it like as a kid, but like not actually watching it, like focused on it. It was like on in the room.
I think it holds up.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in years, but I mean, it's one of, if you look at show or lists of the best television shows in history, MASH is usually on there.
Yeah, high recommend. You already touched on this one. Big Bang Theory.
Laugh track leaned on it heavy.
Correct. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No laugh track.
No laugh track. Good show.
Good show.
Bang Bros.
No laugh track. Very well versed in that.
No laugh track.
And quality content. So you're seeing a theme here.
Fake Agent / Fake Taxi.
No laugh track.
No, correct. Check Streets.
No laugh track.
Man, you're good. Wow. Oh, you got one wrong so far. The Office.
No laugh track.
Yeah, okay. Office is,
That's easy.
I think that's top tier. Friends.
Laugh track. Which is, I will say, I do like Friends.
Friends is good.
Friends is good, and the laugh track, like there was genuine moments where like, yeah.
I watch Friends. I laugh at Friends.
Yeah.
Come back to that one. Matthew Perry's Hot Tub Party, a live funeral extravaganza.
No laugh track.
No, those were real laughs. Yeah. Okay. No laugh track. That was a studio audience. And last one, Home Improvement.
Hard laugh track.
So, bit of a trick question. That's one of those shows that actually had the live studio
they did have the
audience.
live audience, yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of an interesting category too.
Okay.
The following program was recorded in front of a live audience.
But did they...
And a bunch of them died.
a bunch of them died when the scaffolding
Because the
collapsed.
producers set up the fucking scene.
But I feel like in that kind of show where it was filmed in front of a live audience, they would still add some laughs in post. Like if they were like, oh, we're going to pause here for some laughs and it didn't hit with the audience, I'm sure they added it after the fact. Otherwise, it would have been like they wrote in these jokes and these pauses. And that's the thing with these shows. Like if you go watch this, again, to go back to Big Bang Theory, if you go watch the show with the laugh track removed, it's so awkward because it's like they pause for the laughs and there's just these gaps in conversation that like if there's nothing happening there, it's like, what did your brain break? Like what's
It'd
like
be super
it's so weird, right? And so, you know, I'm sure that Home Improvement had jokes where like the live audience, like it didn't properly hit, but they paused for 5 seconds for laughs.
I also wonder about like if they had a good take, like they did the scene correctly, but there was like one dude. I think this is a Tim Robinson skit. Like there's like someone in the crowd and just be like they have like a bunch of questions. So they have like a really heinous laugh, like you know, like would they like shoot it again, or are they like gonna just cut that? We're just gonna like add a track.
Yeah, we're just gonna
How live is this fucking audience? How live is our audience? Make some fucking noise.
So live.
Awkward pause. Yeah, we're gonna release this episode with the laugh track
And without
with the awkward pause. Kudos to you. You crushed it.
pretty good.
You had
MASH
no
was the only
trouble.
one I got wrong.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. And I actually stand to be corrected. I believe the early episodes, like the first couple seasons, were all laugh track. And then maybe towards the end, when it gets a little more serious, they did away with it. But you really, really nailed it. I'm proud of you. You watch a lot of TV.
And porn.
And oh my God. So on that note of live studio audience, what was I thinking?
Awkward pause, no laugh.
Awkward pause, no laugh. Oh, you were talking about the edits where you can go in and watch Big Bang Theory and it's just like cringeworthy. Have you seen the edits where they add the laugh track in like the really like it's like Home Improvement? And it'll be like a really serious episode.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
This is a special episode of or not Home Improvement. What did I say? Full House. Did I say Full House? Yeah.
You said Home Improvement originally, but
that one had serious episodes.
Yeah.
You know, Jonathan Taylor Thomas smokes pot for the first time.
meanwhile, freaking he got arrested for like coke back in like the 80s.
Man, I got
Tim
aged.
Allen.
Oh, I was like JTT.
No.
Is he like -3?
No, Tim Allen, but he had to play like wholesome family dad. But he was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, man. He was snorting Rockies and vodka like crazy. There's actually crazy Tim Allen stories. There's definitely like on the internet stories about Tim Allen like flashing his danger at friggin' people on set. Totally. Friggin' if you don't hear the Rad Dad autocorrect jingle right now, then that is 100% verification that Tim Allen friggin' got a schween on him, a schlong, and he just chucks it out there. He was in that perfect era of entertainment when you could still do that, you know?
when people were really free.
People were really free to engage in sexual harassment because they were famous and then do drugs and play a dad on TV. Yeah. But have you seen the ones, I think it was Full House, where it's like, it'll be like a really serious episode. Like Steph Tanner's friend tells her that he gets hit at home. And it's like the inappropriate laugh track.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Have you seen the guy on Instagram who will like play Life is a Highway at the most inappropriate points? And there's like one where I forget what movie it's from, but it's like they're all eating a picnic in a field. And then the one guy's like, the baby. And there's like a toddler chasing a balloon towards a highway. And then like the toddler runs onto the highway. And this truck comes screaming around the corner, and then the brakes, and then it cuts away. You know what happened, but it doesn't show it. But the balloon's like floating away in the air, and then the guy just comes in. It's like, ding, 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 life is a highway. Oh,
You can tell him dad though. Like as soon as you said that, I was like, I tensed up.
oh, you were like, oh,
That's something that happens to dads, like and moms and any parent.
yeah,
Is like you have a small child and you immediately become like hypersensitive to that type of media. Like I don't like that. I don't like watching that stuff.
no. I was like, oh, that is a funny way to put that, but I was also like, I didn't like watching like the build up to that because it like, yeah, it stresses you out. And like, I don't know. I also like just cars in general. Like today, Kennedy was like coming to my office. She's like, oh, I want to run back to mom's car. And I was like, okay, hold on. We're in the parking lot. And I was like, hold on, check for cars. And she's like, Dad, there's none coming. I was like, there's a fucking truck right there. And like but the truck saw her.
Life is a highway.
Yeah, like, and I was like, kids don't pay attention like that. And so when I watch that, I'm like, oh man, like, yeah, this guy's like making a funny moment, but I'm like, kids do that shit. Like they just like, they run with no regard, just reckless self-abandon.
That's my daughter's era right now. It's just like life on the line. She's like, anytime you don't watch her, and she's just doing these things now where she's in her big girl bed. And so, you know, with that means that like she could put it together. I'm not locked in here. And so she's been getting up and getting out of her room. And Megan was out of town last week. And man, did I have some like spooky wake ups.
Dude, kids know how to like fuck with you when they get in their big kid beds. Like to this day, I mean, Kennedy's 5 now and she'll still wake me up, but it'll be like, I don't know if she's like poking me or something, but like I'll wake up like just on my own. It's not like I'm jolted awake, but I'll like open my eyes and she's just standing there in the dark, like side of her face illuminated by like the dim glow of my alarm clock, and she's just wide-eyed staring at me, and I'm like, gee, what the fuck? And then she's just like, I have to go pee. And I'm like, go to the fucking bath. Jesus Christ. Like my heart's going 400 miles an hour. I thought there was a murderer that broke into the house and he's just watching me sleep, but it's just my daughter like got pissed.
Oh man, I was in like at my routine, my business meeting in the washroom in the morning, and all of a sudden there's like someone's banging on the door, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, quite literally scared the crap out of me. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's my daughter. She's just out roaming. Yeah, the other day she got up at 5 a.m, just went to the fridge, started pulling out like 9 yogurts. You know, I'm like, they got a burglar? They got a miniature burglar in the house? Get up. No, just run around. But back to the safety thing, like her room's upstairs, right? So like my biggest fear is that she's just gonna like come out in the dark, escape, and then like tumble down the stairs. The other day she opened the garage door, like the man door to the garage, and I had the bay door open because we were doing a fish fry. So literally on my driveway is a boiling vat of oil, like under flame, and my daughter is like opening the man door and like going for an adventure. And I just like came around the corner, and this is like, it makes me sound like a piece of shit dad. Certainly not the case. I mean, I am for like several other reasons, but like in this specific case, that's just how quick she was. Like she saw her opportunity, got outside, and when I came around the corner, she was like in the garage walking towards the driveway, and she's just like stoked. She's homeward bound, middle of the night, and she's just like pointing at this thing, being like, it's hot. I'm like, oh my God.
It's insanely hot. It will fry you.
This is terrifying. Life is a highway.
I should tell the story of how I broke my leg. So I was 2 years old.
When did you break your leg? Oh,
I was 2 years old.
Okay.
And so my mom had me, and then she had my brother, who at the time was like a few weeks old. So she's very occupied, as you are.
Clint gets all the attention.
I know. But listen, I've been talking about that with my therapist for decades, okay? No, so she's got, and she was interviewing a cleaning lady. So she's sitting in the yard. I was playing while she's interviewing. She's holding little baby brother, right? And she kind of looks around and she's like, where's Dex? And then all of a sudden she hears a scream from the field. I was 2 years old. I wandered off, went into the horse pasture, and I got trampled by a horse.
Shut up.
And like broke my femur. Like there's pictures of me. I was like in traction, and so my leg was like hung up. I was sitting in the fucking hospital bed, and I had a full cast from like ankle to hip.
That's why you can't make it outside of 40 yards.
Yeah. The reason I'm not
that horrible horse femur smash you sustained as a child.
And then there's another story my mom likes to tell. Well, she doesn't like to tell it because I feel like
we're telling them now.
We're telling them now.
I hope our fucking parents don't start a podcast.
Yeah. Just contradict. Let me clarify what the kid said. She was again in the yard, like kids were playing or whatever, and I wandered off with the dog. Like we lived on an acreage on Dumba Road, or just off Dumba Road at the time, and she couldn't find me, and she couldn't find the dog. And what had happened was, I guess the dog had started walking to the end of the property as he does. I just started following him, but he was like, oh, one of the humans is with me. I can keep going. I just kept following the dog because I was like, I'm going to see where the dog's going. And so we walked and my mom could not find me. And she calls my dad, who worked in Calgary at the time. She's like, you got to, I can't find Dex. You got to get home. Like, they're getting a search party together. Like, and my dad's like ripping home, and he's going, and on the other side of the highway, he sees me and the dog just walking in the ditch, like miles from the house.
No way. Yeah. We were talking about like our parents made the mistakes, right? Obviously unintentional. We had one. I think I had to be like maybe 4 years old, 4 or 5, and we were visiting our family on the West Coast in Campbell River. And one of the things you do in the summer is you go fucking tube the rivers, and it's crazy. It's beautiful. It's this giant canyon, scenic waterfalls, really fantastic. If anything, my parents are doing a fantastic job by providing me with this opportunity for an amazing vacation. There, I said it. It was great. But like at the time, they're like, we're going to send the kids tubing, and we'll go down to Aunt Lorraine's, who's on the river. We'll drop you off here. And it actually, I'll even clarify, it wasn't my parents, it was my grandparents, but we were on a trip with my parents. And they were just going to let us all tube down. We'd get to Lorraine's, we'd get out. And so we go, it's a fantastic tubing trip, if I can remember it accurately, tons of fun. And we get to the point in the river where we're supposed to get off. Well, I'm really little and I'm like terrified. And like the prospect of standing up in the water is like, it's very scary. I don't want to do it. And they had put my sister and I on the same tube. So like a little kid with like a more, but still also very little kid on this fucking giant tube. Can't really control it. So my sister gets up. It's like ankle deep water and just walks across to the like agreed upon landing site. And I was just kind of like bitching out, having a fit, as kids do. And I refused to get off the tube. Well, pretty much every river on Vancouver Island flows into an estuary, which ultimately flows into the ocean. And I found myself...
That is a vast body of water.
I found myself like floating out into the Discovery Passage, like tidal fucking water. Some of the most dangerous tidal water on the planet because of the proximity of all the islands there. Like it's an intensely dangerous body of water. And I'm in like, you go into these estuaries and they, you know, they're kind of carved out for the purposes of transport or whatever. And like you go from ankle deep water to 50 feet to 60 feet. And now it's salty. And now I can see a fucking barge, you know, like, and that was like no one's fault, but like kids are kids. Kids will do like the most ridiculous and stupid stuff and put themselves in harm's way. And it's absolutely fucking terrifying. Yeah. Very scary. I still think about that.
Yeah. Well, and water is scary.
Water is scary. I never really got over that. It's still terrified. And horses are scary. I still don't like fucking horses. And none smashed my femur.
Oh, see, and I don't have a problem with horses.
Yeah, you like those big old horse cocks. Hey?
Oh, yeah. I learned real fast.
That's probably what you're doing. Like 2-year-old Dex, like he's got a 5th leg.
Whoa, look at that thing. Yeah, I probably grabbed it. The horse stomped me out.
No, he was trotting. He was like, whoa. He was dancing. He was doing a little jig. Yeah.
He said nay, but I said yay.
Oh, man. And then he smashed my femur. The ultimate donkey punch. You learned. Did you learn your lesson?
I did learn it. I can honestly say I haven't been trampled by a horse since.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I can honestly tell you I haven't grabbed a horse cock since. But you can't honestly say that.
I can't honestly say that. No, I can't go that far.
Yeah, man. But yeah, they're just hell-bent. And like I'm living that right now. And I don't think anything as serious has happened. But like the potential, you know, like you play that game a lot as a parent. You're like, what if? Even with that horse, like femur, pretty serious, but not head.
Yeah.
You know, not wiener. You're not a 35-year-old man with a pancake wiener.
Yeah, no, it could have gone a lot worse, right? It's like, oh yeah, shattering your femur and like being in traction in the hospital for a while is like pretty bad injury, but it's like, oh, the horse could have also like stomped your skull in.
Yeah.
Like no podcast. Through a series of events, you're not able to listen to this.
That was the
stakes.
That was the stakes. We're not going to have a podcast.
Yeah. But we probably want to wrap this up soon, but like the one thing that always, I did a first aid course. I think I talked about it previously on the podcast. I did a first aid course right after we had Kennedy. came in handy when she had a seizure at one point, like shortly after that, because I felt very prepared on how to handle that
Super
situation.
terrifying, though.
Yeah, very scary. Yeah. But the lady that taught this course was like, it was basically 2 days of like lady telling war stories. And I was like, this lady's just like been involved in every horrible like accident that's ever happened in Southern Alberta. Like she's been at every car accident scene.
Every scaffold collapse.
She's
podcast
just,
live recording.
She's
you guys are doing okay.
Yeah, everybody else is fine. This lady was the fucking Grim Reaper. Like she was just at everything. Like, and she would just be like, let me tell you, like if you've got kids, and I was like, I have a kid, that's why I'm here. And she's like, the worst food to give them, watermelon, 1 choking hazard.
You told me this. We talked about this.
I think so. I think we talked about this, like maybe not on the podcast, but she's like watermelon. I'm like taking notes. I'm like, okay, like don't give your kid big chunks of watermelon, right? And then like 5 minutes later, she's like, 1 choking hazard for kids, and I'm like, watermelon. She's like, bananas. And I was like, wait. Like 5 minutes ago, you said you saw 40 kids die in the last 20 minutes from watermelon. And like, and she's like, hot dogs. If you're feeding your kid hot dogs, slice it in half before you put it in the bun so it can't lodge in their throat. And I'm like, that makes sense. She's like, deadliest food there is. And I was like, hold on. Like, hold the fuck on. Can they eat anything? What can kids eat? So I don't know. I always go with watermelon, but it makes sense. You cut up these huge chunks of watermelon.
Perfect throat shaped.
Oh, it's just like kids just shove everything. They shove a whole thing. I'm covering my mouth as I'm trying to talk. They shove a whole thing of watermelon in their mouth, and it's like kind of like most kids can chew watermelon. So then they're just like, oh yeah, I'll swallow it, and boom. So watch out for watermelon. Most dangerous food. Up there with hot dogs and bananas and everything else you can eat.
Yeah.
Just eat applesauce.
Honestly, Megan's the anti Grim Reaper first aid lady. She's like Lindy's 6 months. She's like, let's make this kid a fucking BLT. It stresses me out. But the kid does eat it. Like I was solo dadding, as I was saying, and like I was talking to a friend at work and kind of regaling some of my more hilarious escapades, and just kind of like lamenting, like, oh, you guys make it look so easy. Like the fact that I had kids dressed one day and left the house, like that was my vodka bottle smash. It was like, where's my medal? I'm not driving.
I'm not driving.
But like, there's so many moments where I was like, man, I really do suck at this, and this is awful. But my friend at work was like, oh, like your wife was gone for a couple days, and don't you have like a 9-month-old? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, does she take a bottle? Like, how are you feeding her? And I was like, eating fucking grilled cheese.
She had a ribeye. What are you talking about?
Yeah, made her a fucking tomahawk steaky. Gave her the fork and steak knife and said, look out. I got to go grab Marin. She's playing in a vat of oil. You sit tight, honey. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. You talk about solo dadding for 3 days. I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy.
It was 3 days real time, but it was 9 years.
Yeah. That I actually invited you out. I was like, hey, do you want to come out to light up Okotoks?
You did. I bitched out hard. I wanted to. I
wish I had bitched out.
Oh my God.
I wish I had bitched out because Alicia was working that night. So I was like, oh, I'll take the girls to light up Okotoks. And context, it was 16 degrees that day, middle of November in Okotoks, 16 degrees.
As you do.
Like that, global warming's real. Just that's a fact at this point.
Oh, we just lost half our listeners.
But like,
sorry guys, just joking.
Got
the
a little
audience,
political.
The world, the Earth is flat. Right?
Everything's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, 16 degrees that day. Light up Okotoks. Every fucking resident of Okotoks was at Light Up Okotoks. There was 20,000 people packed on that street downtown.
I did read that.
It was like you couldn't move at points. And so I'm like trying to like haul around Kennedy, who wants to jump between. She's like, they got candy canes over there, and she wants to run through this crowd of people. It was like being at like a System of a Down concert. I was like, we're gonna get crowd crushed, you know.
Gadoosh.
And then I had like Kaylee, sorry, in the stroller, but she wants to walk. That's all she wants to do. But I'm like, you can't walk in this giant group. I don't know what to tell you, kid. And so I'd take her out for a second, and she'd just like sit down, like in the middle of the road, which of course the road's closed, but there's thousands of people trying to walk around us. So then we stayed for the light up of the tree, which like we couldn't even get very close. So Kenny's like, I can't see. And then we were so far back. They did a bit where like they counted down, but then the tree didn't light up, and they're like, oh, like a mouse chewed through the cords or something, and like, but we couldn't quite hear it. So we're all like in the back. We're like, what the? Oh, they fucked up. They were telling a whole story. And it was all part of the bit. And it finally lit up, and I was like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. And it took us like a good 30 minutes to like get back to like the bridge and walk across. We parked by your place.
And did you feel accomplished? Did you feel like a good dad after, at least?
No, I texted Alicia, and I was like, I bit off way more than I could chew. And like Kaylee was just crying the whole time because I wouldn't let her walk. And Kennedy was feeling like she missed out on some of the like the tree lighting, and she kept getting candy canes, but they're all broken. So she'd open it, and they would just like all these pieces would fall on the ground. And I saw Brad as we were leaving, Brad and Nikki, and we were walking with them, and Brad got her another candy cane, and he's unwrapping it, and it's broken. He's like, "Careful, buddy! Like, you know, these pieces are broken." Kenny's like, "Another broken candy cane," and I'm like, "There's life for you, kid. It's just one big fucking broken candy cane after another, you know, life lesson for you." But
yeah,
it was a good time. I did feel accomplished that Kennedy was really looking forward to that.
One moment you're grabbing the meatiest horse cock.
The next moment you're up in traction at the Rocky View. No, but Kennedy was really excited for it. She had a good time. Kaylee could have gone without, but yeah, I guess I felt marginally accomplished, but I was like, well, one kid didn't appreciate this at all. In fact, she had a negative experience.
Yeah, and I hedged my bets on being like, you won't even remember this. I also, I did get him out the next day. We friggin' went to, the grandparents had a play, went over to my buddy Bren's house, had a visit, played with their kids. Super dad. I pulled it together, but, that night, I was like, yeah, I'm going to come to Light Up Okotoks. And then I was like, do you ever casually, just scroll skip? It's a real fat guy move where you're like, I'm not even hungry, but I'm just going to check this out. It's like Facebook for real pieces of shit.
What's going on Skip?
Yeah,
food?
It's my social media. It's my networking site. So yeah, sometimes if I'm just sitting around, I'll just scroll on Skip. And this was in between whether I decided to come to Light Up Okotoks or not. And McDonald's on Skip. So McDonald's on Skip. And here's a pro tip for everybody listening. You have your regular meal deals. But then they have the 2 can dine and the 3 can dine. And they're they're blowing these things out. So they had a deal on there. And I'm dead fucking serious. You're looking at me like there's a...
No, that's what I'm doing as soon as you leave.
McDonald's, yeah. Honestly. And they're fucking 2 burgers, 2 fries, 2 drinks, and a Happy Meal. Got the family meal deal. It was $20. Then I was like, oh, I'm going to get a Blizzard. So I add the Blizzard, or not a Blizzard, a fucking McFlurry. The poor man's Blizzard.
Yeah.
And I had the McFlurry, and then it's you just qualified for a free item because you have $25 worth of shit. And I was like, well, what's my free item? An entire Big Mac meal with fries and drink. So I got 3 burgers, 3 orders of fries, 3 drinks, and a Happy Meal for $25. Obviously, plus delivery and all that shit. But I was like, I hit send on that, hit confirm, and then I texted you. I was like, we're not gonna make it out.
Yeah, I got big things happening.
Yeah, I saw you virtually on Halo shortly after that. Anyway, we still got our hangout time in.
Oh yeah. I got home, put the girls down. I was like, need some daddy time.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Should we wrap this up and then play some Halo?
We totally should. Actually, you know what? Just for the purposes of the live audience, you guys obviously stick around. We're going to end the recording, and coming up after is our Rad Dad's first anniversary donkey show. You guys paid good money for that, so yeah, we'll break down the highlights on our next episode. Don't grab its cock. That's to the performers. But,
speaking from experience,
you don't want to do that. But we did receive a little feedback that the Halloween episode, although quality, I had a few people be like, yeah, I can't listen to you fucks for an hour and a half. You need to keep these episodes to 50 to an hour. So we're all right.
Well, we're at an hour 5.
Ah, fuck me. Well, hey, happy anniversary, buddy. I love you. Thanks everyone in the live studio audience. Sorry about all the deaths. We're gonna improve upon that. And for everyone else listening at the convenience in your cars at home, stay tuned. Year 2 is going to be big.
Yeah, we're gonna hype so many things and then not follow through. It's gonna be sick.
I bet you we follow through with one or two, maybe.
The Rad Moms is gonna happen. It'll happen at some point.
Rad Moms is going to happen. Call it in the air. We're carving no less than 84 pumpkins soon. Follow us on our socials. We're going to get a guest. Actually, that is true. We're going to upgrade our studio. Yeah, that's exciting. And I do want to call this out. I'm gonna put it out there. The mashup episode. It's gonna be a ton of fun. It's gonna be a listen. It's gonna be a incredible amount of work for Dex. So make some noise in the studio audience for Dex actually pouring hours and hours into a rehashed 45-minute episode coming to you soon.
Hell yeah! All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for a year, and we'll catch you for the rest of year 2.
Yeah. See you then. Love you guys.
Tune in for the next episode when the Rad Dads face crippling financial hardship as a result of the scaffolding incident lawsuit.